What's up, everybody? I'm Trey Griggs with my partner, my co-host, my cohort in crime, Kevin Hill. What's up, my friend? It is time for the.
It is time.
We're back.
It is time to attack 2025, and we're going to do that by recapping 2024, looking out at the Broker Carrier Summit and everything that was accomplished. We accomplished, and then pivot to 2025, right?
Dude, I have to say, man, I missed you. I missed the show. We did this every week leading up to Fort Worth. It was phenomenal. We highlighted speakers. We highlighted sponsors. We highlighted sessions, what people can expect. And we thought, you know what? Let's do more of that here in 2025. Yeah. And so, first of all, let's just talk about what we're going to do here for the show. We're going to have this show every other week for the first 2 months here of the year, January and February. And then when March rolls around and things start really picking up as we head into the summit, we're going to have a weekly show. We're going to highlight all the things that are going to be going on, the speakers, the sponsors, the networking events, the golf tournament, all the just fun stuff. So everybody knows exactly what to do when they get to Indianapolis for the Broker Carrier Summit. And I just can't wait, man. It's going to be a fun ride. It's going to be a fun ride.
It is. It's going to be here as quick, right? And before we know it, it is going to be late April, and we are going to be all in Indianapolis at another Broker Carrier Summit. So we have a lot of ground to cover the next 4 months, but it's just going to go fast.
I know. We're really close to 100 days away. I think we might even be like right around 100 days.
So what's the exact date?
It's April 28th through May 2nd. And this year we're calling it Summit Week because we're going to take the entire week, because the more people that come to this thing, the more time we need to network, the more time we need for some of our breakout sessions because the conversations are so good. And we're also moving the schedule around a little bit. So we're going to talk about that as we get into it. But that's coming up real soon. In fact, you can register right now. Just go to brokercarriersummit.com and you can register right now for the summit in Indianapolis. Early bird pricing is still going on right now. It ends in February. You got a little bit of time, but don't wait. Why wait? Put it on the calendar, get it done, get registered, commit to it, and we'll see you in Indy.
Dude, it's a huge crowd, right? Exponential growth.
I know.
The last three summits, definitely exponential growth. Dallas, Fort Worth. I mean, there were a ton of people in that summit. It was amazing to see.
It was phenomenal. Robert Bain, what's up, my friend, the strongest man in logistics? He's going to be there, of course. And he also threw out a little goal, I think. I think he said something like 800. If we get to 800, he's going to let us shave his beard on stage. Is that right, Robert? Let us know. Confirm in the comments that that's it. And by the way, wherever you're watching, let us know where we're watching today. Where are you in the country? Because we got some other things to announce as well that you're really going to know about. We'll get to that here in just a little bit. All right, Kevin, we got a guest today.
Go ahead. 800. We're going to hit 800. So we're going to hit 800, and Bain is going to shave his beard.
That's the plan.
Always guaranteed.
That's the plan. I think it's very possible. In fact, I'm excited about that. I would even say that if we got to like 1,000, I'd let people shave my head, which is, that's scary. But because then I'd look like you and Dan Lindsey. Speaking of Dan Lindsey, we have a guest on the show today. If we're going to recap 2024, who better to have on the show than the man who is the vision and the energy and the money and whatever else you want to say behind this thing, who put this together from a whiskey conversation with Robert Bain and Troy and made this thing happen. Let's welcome him to the show, our good friend and the founder of Broker Carrier Summit, Dan Lindsey. What's up, buddy?
What is up, gentlemen?
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. It's great seeing both of your smiling faces in the same place again. It's been a while.
Exactly. It's good. It's good to be back. Fort Worth was a blast, and then it ends, and you're kind of like, But then we start thinking about Indy, and here we are. We're right in the throes of it. We're working on sponsorships. We're working on the agenda. We're going to finalize that by the end of this month. All our speakers, all our sessions. We got phenomenal learning labs to talk about. I mean, we got a lot of things going. So, man, it's exciting.
That's a wrap. That's the show, everybody.
That's it. Pretty much. We're done. We can move on. Right. Now, listen, we gotta talk about this because some people are going to watch this. They might not even know where this thing came from. So let's just recap. Let's just start off. Let's just go back to the beginning of how this thing came about. Let's share that whiskey story one more time with a little bit of your background and how we even got here.
You want the full story, or you want it to summarize a bridge?
I mean, let's do like some cliff notes with a little detail.
Right.
The cliff notes with a little detail, you know.
The cliff note version of this is freight broker, trucking company, carrier relationships have sucked forever. It drives one to do things. One of those things is to drink. And so during a time in which I was drinking at the a conference that will remain nameless with my friend Robert Bain, Whiskey Summit, we were commiserating on the challenges of the industry. And I threw out, how cool would it be if everybody just dropped what they were doing, dropped their differences, and said, you know what, let's just create an ecosystem where we can all do well. He asked me what it would look like, and I said, I have no idea. But if I ever do put something like that together, can I count on you to be a part of it? And he said, absolutely. So lesson for all of you out there, if I ever ask you that,
you better be ready to pony up.
Less than a year later, I called him and I was like, hey, we're doing it. We're going to do this thing. It's going to be a one-day symposium, bringing brokers and carriers together and bridging the gap, reestablishing trust, and talking about the hard issues that nobody wants to talk about. And we're gonna change the way brokers and carriers talk to each other, if just for one day. So we did that in Indianapolis, and here we are 2 years later. The Fort Worth Summit had 497 people. We've seen literally dozens of deals get done between brokers and carriers at these summits. Probably over 100 deals get done between brokers and carriers. Thousands of connections made. We didn't just change the conversation around brokers and carriers themselves. We are changing the way the industry works. And I'm convinced of that because we had over 1,000 people, over 700 companies over the last 2 years attend a broker carrier summit, and not a single one of them has told us to stop doing what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, well, until they do, I guess we'll keep going. You know, we'll just keep doing
I guess so. But if you can get 1,000 people in the freight industry to agree on anything, you're doing a damn fine job. So we're gonna keep going.
That's awesome. Well, you know, I'm excited about what's coming up. We have had exponential growth. We had, like you said, 35 in Indy, 226, I think, in Tampa, 360 in Kansas City, 500. We'll call it 500 in Fort Worth, 496 right there. And I think that we're going to be, 600, 700, 800 easily in Indianapolis. This thing's growing like crazy. We already have 30 companies that have partnered with us on sponsorship to be a part of what we're doing for that event. Still working on a few more. There's still some spots available. If you're out there and you want to sponsor, definitely reach out to Dan and ask about that. But jump on the train, man. This thing is going down the tracks. It's a lot of fun. It's super exciting. And I think we need to talk a little bit about, what to expect here coming up. But before we do that, let's just kind of, recap some of the victories from 2024. Like you said, we had exponential growth in attendees and participants. We've had over 1,000 people participate in a BCS event. Over 50 companies have been a part of sponsoring and making it happen. But I think what you're most excited about, and we want to talk about, is our tagline and what that really means. At the Broker Carrier Summit, where brands are elevated and deals get done. That's exciting.
Yeah, and that's interesting because when we first did the summit, it was the purpose was to reconcile broker carrier relationships, and that's a fantastic place to start. I think that's the foundation upon which any conversation between brokers and carriers needs to start, is reconciling differences, reconciliation, and rebuilding of trust. But what comes after that has to be valuable for all people involved. And so one of the things I talk about this on every call with a sponsor specifically, is we want your association with the summit to elevate your brand. We want it to be a value add for you that you're a part of this movement. Same for carriers, same for brokers. Carriers and brokers, if you are a part of the Broker Carrier Summit, I want you to be proud of that. And I want shippers to look at you and say, you know what, you're a part of this movement over here. We know the quality that comes out of that movement because we've heard about it, or we know certain people who are a part of it. We want our existence to elevate you. And we've seen that over the last 2 years. And the deals getting done is just a byproduct of brands being elevated. One of the things we do well is we don't do events the way everybody else does events. I'm not an event planner. Nobody is an event planner at the BCS. We are now, I guess. We are.
I kind of feel like I am at this point, we are.
Yes.
We put on 4 of these. We kind of are kind of event planners.
We don't know like the things that like the normal process of doing things. All we know is we like this about certain events we've been to. We hate this about certain events we've been to, and we do the things that we know work. And we don't do the things that we don't like or that don't work. And so one of the things that we decided to do last year was incorporate a networking lunch. We call it Lunch in Lanes, which was the only name we could really come up with. But it's brokers and carriers who move similar types of freight sitting at the same table. And we had a broker last year in Fort Worth. He came in with like literally a stack of like a bid sheet, like a 50-page bid sheet, and was just talking to carriers about which lanes they could run. He probably signed up 20 carriers at the summit in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
We had carriers getting set up with 4 different brokers, having 3 trucks over the road by the time they left that day.
That's the coolest thing, that freight is actually moving right away. In fact, I'll give you a little anecdote. I spoke with one of the carriers who was there at one of the networking receptions, and I just asked him if it was his first time. He goes, no, I've been to one of these before. And I said, which one did you come to? And he said he'd been to Kansas City. And I was like, why'd you come back? I said, so cool you came back. Why'd you come back? And he goes, man, my business has grown and become stable almost exclusively from the brokers that I met in Kansas City. I had to come back and meet more. And it's like, that's what it's all about.
And I think you can, and it goes perfectly. Those 3 steps. You can't have that, a better business without reconciliation of communication. That just naturally elevates your brand. You elevate your brand, you're going to do more deals. But I think that's one of the big things about the Broker Carrier Summit is everyone talks about networking and industry knowledge, and it all comes down to deals, right? The best networking is when you do deals. That's a great networking outcome. And if deals are getting done there on the floor, like we've all witnessed, there's no reason not to go.
And that's why people come back, because they're making money from this event. That's why they come back. And brands are being elevated. I mean, I think about like Blue Northern Distributing, Andy Pritchard.
Yes.
Many people didn't know about him. Well, people know about him now, and his beautiful daughter Grace.
Dude.
I know.
Andy's
so
cool.
cool. Yeah. It's neat to see those things be elevated. Like, No Dwell, our friend Blake Lappin, that brand getting elevated, and just so many others. Cargado's a part of it. And there's some Indianapolis companies that are really stepping up. I'm excited to elevate brands like H&F Logistics and some others that are going to be a part of the event in Indianapolis. So it's incredibly exciting.
Well, one of the things that was really paradigm shifting, not just for me, but for everyone who was a part of the BCS last year, and in addition to that, anyone who's watched what we're doing in the freight industry, one of the paradigm shifting concepts that we are we are absolutely at the forefront of is this idea that everybody can win. Just because carriers are winning does not mean brokers have to lose. Just because brokers are winning does not mean carriers have to lose. We are shattering that paradigm where if I win, you have to lose, because everybody who shows up at the Broker Carrier Summit in some way wins. They either get a deal, or they get set up with brokers, they find customers, they find quality carriers, or the other part of it is they learn practically applicable, valuable knowledge that's going to help them actually grow their business. we've all been to conferences, and you sit in the sessions, and you're in your third session, and you're like, why the hell am I here? Where's the bar? Why do I have to do this? I have to take notes because I have to take this back to the people who I report to, and they have to make sure that, they get their money's worth. But no one's doing that at the summit. Everybody's either winning or learning. You win and you learn.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're about. And one of the things that's really cool is that the things that we do and the things that we've done in the past and things that we're going to do in 2025 are only the things that people have asked us to do.
Right.
If we're not adding value, we're not going to do it. We had the conversation today about, hey, should we have this catchy, celebrity headliner? Why?
Yeah.
Is he gonna tell them how to build their business, or is he just gonna pose for pictures?
Exactly. No, you're absolutely.
That's cool, but that doesn't add value to anybody.
Right. There's a lot of truth to that. It's like trying to figure out what's going to provide the most value for our attendees and figuring all that out. It's been a fun ride. By the way, Shimi, what's up? Thanks for watching the show. Good to see you. Can't wait to see you.
I'm excited to finally meet Shimi Munson.
I know it's going to be fun. I'm excited she's coming. It's going to be great. So, it's fun to talk about what happened, but there's other things that came out of that from 2024 ideas. I mean, you're definitely an ideas guy, probably, more than I am, which is hard to find. I'm not going to lie. Like, you're definitely an ideas guy. So some things have come out of this. Some vision has evolved from this. And one of those things has to be the BCS Freight Network and the membership and what we're going to be working on with that. So talk a little bit about your vision behind that, where that's going. Obviously, we're going to be launching that. There could be a couple fumbles along the way. We're not trying to do that. We're going to get it right. But talk a little bit about what your vision is for that and why that's so important to this network.
Yeah, well, there's already been fumbles along the way. If you've already signed up in the pre-enrollment, you already know that. So that's one of the things too. We all have to own our. One of the things I say, own your shit. I mean, there's no point in just saying, "Oh yeah, we're not going to do it." No, we're behind on a timeline by about 2.5 weeks already. So own it, and it is what it is. But the BCS Freight Network, I'm really excited about BCS Freight Network as much, if not more so, than the summit itself, because the BCS Freight Network is going to be the ecosystem in which the most trusted people and companies in the freight industry continue to interact and build relationships outside of the summits. So the concept is simple. If you've been to a broker carrier summit, you have the opportunity to enroll in our membership platform, where we are going to be providing exclusive content, continued networking opportunities, a platform where you can interact with other companies that are a part of the network or who have been to a summit. We're going to roll out our preferred vendor network. It's going to be our sponsors and companies that we can vouch for when it comes to their service, when it comes to their deliverables and their commitment to broker carrier relationships. There will be some discounts involved in that, I'm pretty sure. Also, one of the things I'm really excited about is I can't say that right now. So stay tuned on that one.
Don't give away too much.
It's a live show. That's so I
right.
Get over my skis. But no, we have a lot of cool things coming down the line with that, and a lot of things for our carriers too. Carriers get overlooked a lot, and I know that one of the things that people kind of complain about a lot is carriers are always complaining or always, making their voice heard. That's because they're not listened to. And one of the things we want to communicate to carriers is that we do hear you, we see you, we are listening to you, and we're going to be providing things that are going to add value specifically to you. So stay tuned to that as well.
Yeah, and a lot of our content, we're focusing a little bit more on the carrier side. I think we were broker heavy a little bit in 2024 on some of the content. We definitely had good content for carriers, but that was one of the feedbacks that we received. So we're working on that. We're going to have more carrier content on the main stage, more on the breakouts, more on the learning labs. Lots to talk about. We're going to get into that here in just a little bit, which is great. But that was a big push. Was like, these summits are great. We're going to keep doing them. Getting in person, there's nothing like it. But for those who have invested in coming to the summit, how can we keep this going throughout the year? So you come to a summit, you're eligible to become a member of the BCS and be able to access content, access the directory, not only for finding brokers and carriers, but also our preferred vendor network and all those types of things. And some of the membership tiers include the tickets to the summit at discounted prices. So if you become a member, you're automatically getting your tickets to the summit at a discount, like the lowest price you're going to find. So it's just like it's a no-brainer for the people that are really invested in this to be a part of that. And we're excited to roll it out. We're excited to get it right. We just ask for a little grace as we do that, as we work to get this all right. The other thing that
all of them have my phone number anyway, so they can call.
Yeah,
me.
right. You're gonna get blown up if we screw this up. That's for sure. The other thing that I wanted to talk about that was new in 2024 that I'm personally excited about was the Post and Pray Classic. And I got to say, first of all, Dan, thank you for just letting me run with this, because I've been going to events for 10 plus years in the industry. I've been playing in the golf tournaments. I hate them. Even when we win, I hate them. And here's why. These 4-person scrambles, they're terrible for your golf game if you're actually a golfer, because you're swinging out of your shoes. You're doing stuff you'd normally never do. It's terrible for your golf game. But 2, so many people are cheating. And I know it's like, hey, it's hard to say that, but it just happens. People just, they want to win so bad. Some of these scores aren't realistic. Everybody hates the winner. Like, it's just miserable. The swag sucks. The merch, like,
tell me people cheat at golf.
It's terrible. I
get
hate
out
it.
of here.
It's terrible. So
speaking of things that are bad for your game, what else is bad for your game is letting Dan Lindsey tee off at the first hole. I need to apologize to your driver in advance. I bet the hell out of that thing.
I haven't hit it as well since that happened. I think he may have done something. I don't know what happened, but that was really fun to come up with a new event. And so the Post and Pray Classic is our baby, our Post and Pray Classic of the Summit, a 2-person team event. We give away the best swag. We give away branded Bills hats. I mean, they're so nice. I mean, look at the logo. It's so sweet. Just good stuff. Everybody gets premium golf balls. We have handicap and non-handicap tournaments going on at the same time. So if you suck or if you're really competitive, you can have fun at this. And I'm really excited about the one in Indianapolis because it's the first time that we're going to have the entire golf course to ourselves. We're at Sagamore Country Club. We have the whole course, the whole day, the whole facility. We're going to have an awards dinner right afterwards. We're going to have happy hour, putting and chipping contest. Like, it's going to be a blast. The swag is the best. The trophies are freaking huge. Like, I mean, it's just incredible. So we're basically doing everything the way that I just wanted it to be done for years and years. Yeah. So thank you for letting that happen. We had 74 golfers in Fort Worth. I think we're going to have 100 in Indianapolis. Yeah.
The Sagamore Club is fantastic. It's a beautiful course. It's literally 10 minutes from my house. So thank you for selecting that location, so I don't have to get up at like 6 in the morning to go down to the.
You got a short drive over.
I can just wake up and roll out of bed and go.
That's right, which is awesome. So
because I'm not busy that week at all.
Yeah. No, it's awesome, man. I'm excited about that. So it's gonna be a blast to have that as well. But just thank you for letting us put that together. I'm excited. Companies like H&L Logistics is gonna be one of our title sponsors, possibly R2X, which is a local Indianapolis company, and I know Ty is going to be a part of sponsoring Beverage Cart. We got several opportunities, whole sponsorship, driving range, lots of things. If you want to be a part of the golf tournament, whether you want to play in it, you want to sponsor it, be a part of it, be at a hole, let me know. I'd love to help you guys out with that. That's it'd be a lot of fun.
Speaking of sponsorships, can we make it one of the announcements that we're supposed to make regarding 2025?
Possibly you could make that. Yeah, I think you could do that.
I think so. Maybe.
Why not?
Well, I guess do what you want to do. We'll
the reason along. I said that is because Jessica Dotson just chimed in. She said, "My absolute favorite part of attending the summits are the amazing relationships built through networking. It is very rewarding to attend an event where you can trust that you are among honest and ethical business professionals. See you in Indy." Thank you, Jessica. And thank you to MS Fuel for being the sponsor, the headliner sponsor of our 12-city the BCS Freight Movement Big Road Tour. I wanted to call it the Certified Non-Scumbag Tour. Did you hear that? I did.
The unofficial Certified Non-Scumbag Tour.
But the BCS Freight Movement Big Road Tour, 12 cities in 12 months. Our kickoff event's going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada on February 10th, 7 p.m. at the Black Tap. If you are a part of our network and have been to a summit or a part of our wider network, you are invited to attend. There is no cost, but the first 100 people at the door will get free drinks.
Now, listen, you're getting a little ahead of yourself because we have a whole segment coming up on what's new in 2025. But I didn't know where you're going. You just like put stuff out there. Well, we're going to have to work on our announcements in this. Well, let's go back real quick. So just so you know, first of all, Post and Pray Classic, Monday, April 28th, Sagamore Country Club, Indianapolis, Indiana. If you'd like to play, if you'd like to sponsor, be a part of that, reach out to me directly, Trey at betaconsultinggroup.com, or you can reach out to me at Trey at brokercarriersummit.com. Either one will work. They'll both get to me, I would love for you to be a part of what we're doing there. It's just a blast. It's one of the best tournaments there. All right, let's turn our attention to 2025 and what's ahead. Since you already kind of broke the ice with that, let's talk about the Big Road Tour, because this is huge. So just to give people a little bit of background on this, like the summits are going to stay more likely than not centrally located, Midwest, East Coast, where the majority of people are. But there are other people all around the country that can't necessarily be a part of this or won't come and be a part of it. I think about the truckers on the I-5 corridor. They're probably not going to pull the truck off and drive to Charlotte, for example. And so it's hard to get there. Maybe someday we'll have a summit in California. We've thought about that. We've talked about it. But in the meantime, the stopgap measure is let's take this thing on the road and have a tour. And so we thought, let's have this 12-city tour, 12 cities, 12 months, and have a great time out there. And we're going to get started. We're going to start with following a couple of trade shows around. We might actually do some at events, but we'll do some self-standing. We're going to start with Las Vegas. We're going to be at Matt's, which is a phenomenal show for owner-operators and truckers. We're going to be there doing an event in March. We'll be at TIA down at San Antonio in April to do a show down or do an event down there as a part of that show. But then there's other cities, and we did put out a survey. Maybe I'll put that survey as a part of the show notes for today. So please tell us where you'd like us to come. But we did another survey, and we saw cities like Chicago, Pittsburgh, Minneapolis, Detroit, Charleston. There's a couple places along the way, Laredo, Phoenix, Los Angeles. There's a couple places where people want us to go. We're going to be making that happen. So we're going to pick 12 cities a year. We're going to go out on the Big Road Tour. We're going to have networking events. These are free events. We want people to come. If you've been to a summit, bring a friend. If you've never been before and just want to know what it's like, make sure that you're there. First one's going to be in Las Vegas. And I believe it's February 10th, which is a Monday night from 7 to 10. And I believe it's in the Venetian somewhere at the Black Tap restaurant and lounge bar area. And I think it's going to be big enough for like 100 to 150 people. So it's going to be limited. You're going to want to get your ticket and register early on. We're going to get that registration set up really soon. And we'll do that. Ooh, Shimi says West Coast. Okay, all right. Now, Shimi, where in the West Coast? We got to figure this out. It's a big area. Medford's got a lot of brokerages. Portland's up there. Seattle, loves Seattle. I think California is probably the place. Central California, where in California? It's so stinking big. Los Angeles is huge. We need a little more direction. So help us out with that, Shimi. But this is going to be exciting. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree. I'm super stoked for it. Again, it's trying to make what we're doing as accessible as possible. Again, we're all about adding value. However we can add value to our people, we're going to do it. And so, bringing the summit to where people are. It's exciting. Nice.
Oh, Shimi's in Portland. We could do that, Shimi. Listen, Portland's great. Medford just down the road is great. Lots of brokerages there. If you do Portland, you get Seattle and Medford. So I like the idea right there. I like the idea. And there's some history there. So DAT is in Portland, but that's also where Jubit's Truck Stop is, where DAT started. So some people might not know the story, but Jubit's Truck Stop right there in Portland is where the first major truck stop where they'd serve meals, they'd have live bands, and they started putting loads up on the board, and that's where Dial a Truck came from, the whole story. So there's some history right there in Portland that could be a fun partner. We need to reach out to the Jubit's family or whoever owns that thing now and see if we can get something going there. That would be fun. That'd be a blast. So could be a good time. Yep. And thank you to our friends over at MS Card, because they've been great to work with. This is really exciting for them and what they provide for the marketplace. And so I can't wait to promote that brand and get that out there. And I'm thinking that we need to get some, we're going to need to get some stickers, some logos for the OLRV to promote this bad boy. It's going to be fun. It's going to be an actual road tour, man. We're going to go out.
We need a wrap. We
need a wrap. We need an RV wrap. That's what we need. That's for sure. Hey, Carol, thank you so much. She says all launches have some hiccups. All right, we're going to try to do our best to limit those. We appreciate that. Appreciate the grace. Yeah, so that's coming down the pipeline. That's going to start in Las Vegas. That's just like a month away. That's coming up. It's really, really soon. So that's incredibly exciting. We have that going on. We also, I think we should talk. I mean, we're going to talk about the Indy Summit in detail here in just a minute, but we also have we've nailed down the Fall Summit. We're pretty much ready to go on that. So let's go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, so it's really cool. Every summit that we have, we get better at doing the job. So
a little earlier in advance, I know.
A little earlier, yeah. So with the Indy Summit, we didn't know the first Indy Summit. We didn't know if we were going to even have a second. So I didn't even go to Tampa for the October Summit until August.
I know. That's when we I think you reached out to me at the end of August to MC that thing.
We're like, hey, we need an MC for this thing happening in 2 months. So, but after Tampa, we're like, okay, we're going to do 2 more next year. So we were able to go to Kansas City it was November of 23 to prep for Kansas City. And by the time we had been to Kansas City,
prep is a loose word. We scouted a couple of hotels, but we didn't lock anything down. We were just kind of like, this could work.
Yeah. But by the time Kansas City was over, we already had the dates and location for the next summit to happen. We didn't know where it was going to be in Fort Worth.
No, the hotel. The
hotel. Right. But we locked in the hotel within a month. Now, in September of last year, before the Fort Worth summit even happened, we had already locked down the cities for 2025. And so Indianapolis
and the hotel. We had the Indy hotel
and the hotel for Indy.
That's right.
And we don't have the hotel for Charlotte yet, but Charlotte is going to be happening October 26th to the 31st in Charlotte, North Carolina. There's a theme for this year, and I can't say what I want to say, but we're going to be in Indy in May, so pick your theme.
It's going to be fun. So. Yeah, that's right. It's going to be fun. We're going to talk about that a little bit, but I'm excited about Charlotte because it's East Coast. It's on the I-95 corridors or close by. I think I'm not sure exactly how close it is. I think we're like 95% to a hotel. So we're really close. There's a golf course on site. That's going to be great. There's potential for truck parking on site, which is a big part of what we're trying to do for carriers is free truck parking through our friends at Truck Parking Club on site as much as we can. Like there's a lot of good things in that direction. And we're just getting a little bit ahead, a little bit ahead. I imagine this summer we'll have 2026 locked down, which is exciting to think about, and getting that far ahead and getting it in that direction.
I've already got mental notes on 2026 in the cities, so we're already getting into a rhythm. So
yep, absolutely, which is great. All right, so let's focus on Indy for a minute. We're going to talk about this a lot over the next 3.5 months here on the road to the summit. But let's focus on Indy for a minute, and let's just talk about some of the new stuff that's going to be happening. It's at the Crown Plaza Union Station Hotel, which is a very unique property. It's right downtown. It's got some, you can see from the pictures here, it's got some cool old style stuff. There's steel that's exposed. There are train car hotel rooms, and there's really cool meeting space that we're going to have there. Very unique meeting space. And I can't wait, man. We got to scout it out like a month ago, looked at signage, looked at space and all that. It's exciting, man. I can't wait.
It's exciting. And one of the most exciting pieces of that is if we don't have the entire hotel reserved yet, we will. The hotel has like 250 rooms. I think we have 150 of them or 170 of them that are in our block. And so we're going to own the hotel for the week. So it's going to be our space. So that's going to be really cool. The venue itself, the old train station, is just absolutely gorgeous. There's a lot of history there. We have some really cool architectural features that we're going to be taking advantage of for happy hours and stuff like that as well. So it's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Cool old place right by Lucas Oil Stadium, neat facility. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. Kevin, I know that you're excited to be there. We're going to have a podcast. We're a really cool podcast area, which we're going to talk about that in a minute. We've got we already had our AV guy Kyle come for the audio visual stuff. We know exactly what to do. This is funny. So people don't know this. We'll give them a little background. People don't know that our audio video guy Kyle McNaught over at 5 Tool Productions, he has never been on site until the event. So we've basically told him what we need. We have him talk to the hotel. We give him layouts and all that, but he literally doesn't get to see the venue until he shows up. And that, as you can imagine, creates a few problems from time to time. That creates a few hiccups that have happened.
Well, I'll tell you this though. If you've been to a summit before, everything you have seen has been done pretty much sight unseen. So you can only imagine. We've already been I live in Indianapolis. This is my home base. I've been to the hotel a few times since we selected it. The board has been out to the hotel. Trey, you were out here last week with Courtney and I figuring things out. Kyle was out here last week. The level of coordination and organization that we are going to have in Indy is going to be miles ahead of even the best that we've already been able to do, which by any standard, it has been fantastic. So
Yeah, I'm excited
only
because
getting
again,
better.
I mean, Kyle makes us look good. He fixes every problem on site. Like him and Phil and their team, they do a phenomenal job. They make it all look good. They make us look good up there on stage. But they've literally just thrown it together on site, hoping that they've ordered the right size of equipment and just all this stuff, just kind of hoping it all works out. And they've made it work. I'm excited because he got to see the facility, he got to take videos and pictures, and he knows exactly what we need. And it's going to be so much better this time. It's going to be so much better. So a lot of things just keep getting just a little bit better each time, which is great. Kevin, we had a great podcast studio last time. Green Screen sponsored that last time. I'm going to have a different sponsor, I think, for this year for the podcast studio. But that was really cool on site too in Fort Worth. What are you anticipating for Indianapolis with that?
With that, I think some of the best podcasts coming from events. You always want to get the energy of the crowd, and it's always fun to be podcasting as people are milling about, going from this session to that session, networking out in front of you, and being able to have a conversation. So kind of that open airplane or airplane. What am I talking about? Open atmosphere.
We're gonna have an airplane.
Right? We might. You never know.
I mean, where are we going?
But like an open atmosphere. And being able to have a great conversation and maybe heckle people in the crowd, and the ability of the crowd maybe to heckle you a little bit. But I think that's one of the great things about doing podcasts live at events.
Yeah, and we had a lot of people sign up for that. We have podcasters that came, influencers, of course, Charles Gracie, Pedro Potato and his crew from the Logistics Lounge were there. Nate Johnson was on the mic. I got a chance to be on for a little bit, and several others did as well. And we want the influencers of the industry and the podcasters to come out and be a part of this. And I'm even thinking like maybe this year we need to do a 2-camera setup, so not only do we get the back screen so we can give our sponsors a lot of love, but maybe even like another side angle so people can see the traffic and see what's going on and really feel like they what it's all about. That could be really fun. Like sky cam, on the video sky cam or something.
Yeah, something like that. The on the video side, it's always great to see 2 people or 3 people or 4 people podcasting with all the equipment and see the crowd out mingling about. That's always a huge plus.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, Shimi, did you get a chance to be on that with Pedro and Hunter and the crew? Man, they're fun to watch. Man, I love those guys. Can't wait for them to come back. They also came out and documented the golf tournament, which was, I did learn something. Those guys in golf carts, that could be dangerous. That gets a little wild. They like to drive those a little aggressive.
Almost as bad as me with a golf club.
Oh, really? Oh, nice. Ooh, Shimi says that the Portland mayor is the owner of Titan Freight. That's interesting because Indianapolis has a similar, and Indiana in general has a similar thing. And you might see more politicians that own trucking companies being a part of the summit in some form or fashion. We don't have anything to announce right now, but that could always come about. But that's really fun. Podcasting is fun. The area in Indianapolis, there's a speakeasy. I'm excited because we're going to have our first ever BCS karaoke night. That's going to be a blast. I'm going to be come on, Kevin, let's go. Kevin, what's your go-to karaoke song, man? You got to have one.
It's been years.
Kevin, I'm in the same boat as you. I found out about the karaoke night when I looked on our Google sheet and it said karaoke night on there. I'm like, wait, what is that?
It's a late night thing. We're going to have fun. It's Wednesday night, 10 to 12. And we're going to have a karaoke DJ and drinks and have a good time. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people in this industry that can sing. Chris Thomas, that dude can sing. I hope that he is going to be in Indianapolis. He's got some pipes, dude. So Chris loves to sing. Jennifer Carpenter-Romaine is a great karaokeer. I love to do it. Brian Obashan loves to be there. I don't know if he likes to sing or not, but he loves to be there. He did it with us in Vegas when we were there. But there's a lot of people that really love to do that and also just love to be together and listen to other people sing and make fun of themselves and have fun. So we're going to have a karaoke night, and we need a sponsor for that, everybody. So if you want to sponsor the karaoke night, it's going to be lit. It's going to be so much fun. They got this cool speakeasy in the basement of the building. I mean, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait to.
That's where karaoke is.
Ooh, Emily, you want to hear Baines sing? What would Baines' go-to song be? He probably rap something. He probably rap a little Jeezy or something. I mean, he's not gonna sing anything, but he might rap something for you. So we'll have to make that happen. Well, if you want to sponsor, let me know. But that's going to be exciting. We have workstations. We're going to have an information and merch table booth area. Mm-hmm. We're going to have a section to highlight the big road tour with MS Card and what we're doing there. Yep. There's a lot to look forward to, man. It's going to be fun.
Real quick, if we can, on the merch station, one of the things that we're really cool. It's really cool about this upcoming year is so all of our merchandise. We've been developing a couple of couple of lines of merchandise over the last year or so, kind of playing with some ideas. Certified non-scumbag attire, if you will. Couple other things as well. But one of the things that we're really proud of is we're partnering with two organizations, Reads Across America and Truckers Against Trafficking. And all of the revenue that we get from the merchandise table at the Indianapolis Summit and the Charlotte Summit is going to be split between those two organizations. And so we're really excited about partnering with them. Again, there are a lot of good people in this industry, a lot of good companies in this industry doing good work. And we want to highlight them. We want to empower and enable people to do the work they're set out to do. So really excited to partner with them this year.
Yep. And we got, if you go to supplychainswag.com/broker-carrier-summit, or you can actually look it up in one of our sample stores on supplychainswag.com. You can pick up merch today, and we're going to be putting some more things on there. These quarter zips are on there. They're really nice, super comfortable Adidas quarter zips. There's all kinds of great merch on there, some cups, glasses, hats, all that good stuff. So pick up some merch, and the proceeds are going to go towards Truckers Against Trafficking and Reads Across America. I got to say, I got to do Reads Across America this past December with my good friend, Dr. Mark Manera, right here in St. Louis. Man, it's just a phenomenal organization. I just can't say enough about them. And I'm so excited that we've partnered with these organizations to really make that happen. So just a lot of really cool stuff. In fact, you can go to readsacrossamerica.org and learn more about that if you'd like to. But this is exciting, man. Truckers Against Trafficking as well, just doing great things. We see what all's happening across the world. We see it happening here in the United States. So it's great to be partnered with those organizations, no doubt. It's good stuff. All right, let's keep going on with Indy. So you talked about the hotel. We're going to have the whole hotel, but you'll notice that 250 rooms is not quite enough for 700 people.
So we have an overflow.
So we got overflow stuff. So a couple things. We're going to have local people, of course, who live at home. That's going to be easy enough. But we've also got a couple of extra hotels that we have put together. We're looking to get truck parking set up close by if you bring your rig. So we're going to make it all work and make it work good. But I would say is when you register, make sure you go ahead and book your hotel so you have a spot and you hopefully can be right there at the headquarters, because you want to be there for the late night stuff, the bar activity and those kind of things. So just make sure you look into that right away. So a lot of good stuff coming.
Yeah, and I will say this as well. So that week in Indianapolis, there is a microbrewery convention going on as well. Now, the reason I say that is not so you don't go to the BCS and go to the microbrewery conference. The reason why I say that is if you want to sign up, if you want to get to Indy and you want to secure your room, whether you're staying in our hotel block or not, do that sooner rather than later, because as we get into February and March, the hotel rooms downtown and the spaces downtown are going to go like crazy fast. So the sooner you sign up, the better. So just a food for thought there.
Yeah, no, appreciate that. And getting back to the podcast thing. So not only are we going to have podcasts at the event, but we're also working on building a lot of podcasts throughout the year. This obviously being one of them, the Road to the Summit, but there's also a couple others that we're doing as well. Dan, why don't you talk for a minute about your personal podcast, Freight Break Live?
Yeah, Freight Break Live with Dan Lindsey, myself. It's a really cool idea. We meet with people in the freight industry and just talk. Again, everything we talk about, everything we do is motivated to practically help people and companies grow. So for instance, we had a conversation with Steve Talamo over at Cleves Logistics, talked for an hour about drayage. What is drayage? Where did it come from? What are some of the pitfalls and challenges of drayage? Hopefully, if you were a drayage carrier or you're a broker who runs drayage, then that was valuable to you. We had a whole conversation with Rob McCutcheon over at TAPS about factoring, the history of factoring, how to use it as a carrier, how to use it as a broker. 15, 30 minutes. We don't really go very long, but it's in the middle of the day on Tuesdays rather. It's a great time.
Yeah, it's going to be great to have those conversations. We had a great conversation about broker transparency. You had Ryan Mize on to talk from the brokerage side. You had about 4 carriers on. Jamie and Adam and Tristan to talk about it from the carrier perspective. And that's what we want to have is those conversations one-on-one or maybe a group setting to talk about the issues, to talk about the products, to talk about what's going on in the industry, relationships, business, all that kind of stuff. And so Really excited to have that one going on. That's going to be every Tuesday live. And so make sure you tune in for that, but it'll also be on demand for members in the members portal. We'll make that available as well. And then we also have a little fun one that I put together. I actually put this one together several years ago and revived it with some of our friends in the industry. And that's the Iron Minds podcast every Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. Michael Lombard, that dude's intense. Lombard Trucking. He's got the Lombard 69 program. It's so good. And then Nick Klingensmith, who some people may or may not know, but this guy's an endurance athlete. But what's really cool is he's been in the transportation industry before. He's a 4-time cancer survivor, and he's now a motivational speaker. He's got a book that he wrote, and he's just a phenomenal guy. And we're going to be doing some work with him. He's probably going to make an appearance on the stage in Indianapolis, and then we have something really special lined up with him for the Charlotte event coming up. We'll release that information probably in Indianapolis when we get there. But that's a fun one. It's just getting up, getting your mind right, getting your body moving. You know, truck drivers have a lifespan that's 18 to 20 years less than the average American. And a lot of stress, a lot of that's not eating well, a lot of that's not moving. And so we're just encouraging people to move, but it's not just that. I mean, look at us. We're sitting in chairs and we're probably going to be in these chairs all day. We're kind of in the same boat. And so everybody just needs a little bit of encouragement to get out there and, and get the body moving, get the mind right, work towards some goal, whatever it is, maybe losing a few pounds, maybe getting a little bit more pliable or flexible, maybe just, getting in better health so you can take, spend time with your kids, your grandkids, do whatever you want to do. Yeah, Shimi, you're on there a lot. Love seeing you there. But that's one that's also really popular. We're probably going to be doing some of these workouts or things at the summit, maybe like a 5K walk or a 5K walk run or a yoga session or something. We're going to build that in. And one of the things that's nice is that this year we're going to start a little bit later than we started in the past. In the past, we started at 8 a.m. sharp. This time we're going to start at 9:30. And that way, if you want to get up and do an early workout, you can do it. If you want to sleep in a little bit and need a little extra rest, you can do that as well. Come down, have some breakfast, and then we'll get started. So really excited about that. And Iron Minds, it's valuable as iron sharpens iron. So one man sharpens another. Got to find your community. Got to find your tribe. That's for sure. So lots of good stuff. We got word on the street as well. We got the Logistics Lounge guys doing some good content. We got some others as well. So it's good stuff, man. It's exciting.
Yeah.
All exciting stuff.
Well, we also have one more, don't we? The one that's going to be a week out from the summit. We're going to talk about that one.
Well, we're still working on that one. We haven't launched that yet. Maybe we'll just throw the idea out there and see what people think. And so, to go back to that real quick, I'll set it up, and then Kevin, you can talk about it. Okay. So we started speed dating in Fort Worth. It was great. We're going to keep that going because it's just one more way for people to get to know each other. It's at the beginning. And so you get to meet people right out of the gate, especially people in your mode of transportation that you want to talk to throughout the summit. So we're definitely going to do that. And it was kind of a test run in Fort Worth. And one of the things that, technology companies, our vendors, our sponsors, they said, hey, could we do speed dating with us? And we're like, yeah, we should do that. We should figure that out. But then this idea came to be, wouldn't it be great if you're about to attend the BCS and you already know who the tech vendors are and what they do and the service providers, the recruiters that are there, and everybody that can potentially help you grow your business? Wouldn't it be nice to have a little bit of a heads up before the event to know who these people are? So with that in mind, Kevin, you and I are coming up with something new. Why don't you talk about it?
Yeah, it's a greeting from all of our tech vendors, right, who are going to be at the event, and it's really a preview into what kind of technology they have, the use cases, a demo, but not only just a demo, right? Because the demo will tell you about half the story, but it's also an in-depth interview with the founders and salespeople, and reason why that they started the business, where they're at in their journey, and kind of really getting to know them, because I think that's where business is conducted as well, right?
That's right.
What the product is, but who you're buying it from. And I think it's a nice introduction that people will be able to know your company, your tech company. And we were talking about that because in podcasting, right? Nice long form content where people who watch or listen kind of appreciate what you're doing, who you are, kind of that they get to know you. You might not get to know them because you don't have that contact, but they know a little bit more about you. Makes it more approachable. It's just a better way to do business. It's great prospecting for technology companies, and it's great information for potential buyers out there, whether you're a broker or carrier. Get to really see if what they're doing really matches what you're looking for, and it allows you to go up and say hi at least.
That's right. So we're going to basically have a private webinar for all the people who have registered for the event. So if you registered for the event, you'll automatically be registered for this webinar. And with that, we're going to do an all-day kind of demo day is what we're kind of calling it. Just a BCS tech demo day or demo day in general. And it's going to be 25-minute sections for 10 hours, which sounds like a lot, but that's 20 slots, and you can come and go as you want, of course, and listen. We'll have a schedule, and we'll let the people intro their product, do a quick demo, and then ask some questions and maybe even some audience questions if we have the time, and then we'll bring in somebody else. And it's going to be one stream, one webinar, one platform, make it really simple. One link, you just come in and you can watch whenever you want. And then we'll also put those on demand as well so that you can catch those if you missed them. And that way you can get to know what does this company do? I don't know what Cargado does. What exactly is their platform and what do they do and how did this come about and who's Matt Silver? So it's all those things just to give a little bit of an intro to our sponsors so that when you get there, you know what they do and you can talk to them in advance. And again, if you guys think this is a dumb idea, tell us. But if you think it's a good idea or how we can improve it, please let us know. It's probably going to happen the Wednesday before or something like that, maybe the Wednesday before Summit Week. And that way you can have that intro. But we've got to get as close as we can because sometimes people sign up late. We want people to be included in this. So make sure you sign up early so we know we'll get you in that most of the time, a lot of the time. But this is going to be our way to introduce all of our tech vendors and our sponsors who want to be a part of that so that you know them in advance. And so that's going to be coming up. So definitely keep your eyes open for that. We're also going to be trying to roll out a weekly newsletter. Now, we're launching a lot of stuff here. This is a little crazy, but we want to keep you up in the loop. That weekly newsletter might just be, hey, watch the road to the summit. that's what it might be. But we'll try to get this stuff out there. We want to make sure that you're informed. You know exactly what to expect. But that's going to be an exciting one as well as a chance to introduce our tech providers and other providers to the audience before the show. Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, and a note on that as well. So after we get the BCS Freight Network up and running, we are going to all of our content. Most of our content is going to be gated. What I mean by that is it's going to be available for our members more prevalently than it will be for everyone else. And the reason, I want to make sure we clarify, the reason for that is not to shut people out. It's because if people are members or if they subscribe to our network, we're able to have visibility into who they are. You can't build the most trusted network in freight if you let everyone in. If there's anything we've learned in the last 4 years, there's a lot of fraudsters, a lot of identity thieves, a lot of scammers, a lot of bad actors, and just people who suck at business practices. We don't want them as a part of our network. We're trying to build the best network, the most trusted network in freight. So a lot of this is going to be behind that membership wall, that paywall. So I wanted to make sure people are aware of that. It's not a lot. Subscriptions will start at about $12 a month. So nothing terrible. But if you have any questions about that, let us know. We'll be able to help you out.
Yeah, it's going to have past summit content, which is really valuable. It's going to have some podcast content, a part of it. And it's really about protecting the network. Yep. That's what it's all about, because that's the most valuable part of this is trust. I mean, trust is hard to get and easy to lose. And we want to be really careful about that. So that's what that's going to be all about. Really excited to have that on there. But we're going to make this available for anybody who signs up for the Indianapolis event. They're going to be a part of that tech demo that they want. They'll have access to that content. And that'll also be available in our preferred vendor network. So you can learn more about these providers in our directory. And that's going to be really great for members to have access to that. All right, we have talked about a lot. We've been here for 52 minutes. I don't even know if people are still with us, but that's all right. We're just going to keep plugging along. We're gonna bring this thing in for a landing, and that is, what excites you most about this now that you're in year 3, Dan? I mean, you've had 2 years to build on this. It went from idea to kind of like a pilot to kind of a beta concept to now, hey, this is it. You've gone all in. You sold your brokerage. You went all in with this. What excites you the most about 2025 and where we're headed?
I think the most exciting piece for me is something I never thought I'd actually say. I've never been so excited to see other people win as I am now. I love I'll stand in the heavily trafficked areas of the summit and I'll just watch people and I'll listen to conversations. I'll listen to them say, that they just got done doing a deal with a broker or a carrier. I love the fact that the BCS and the BCS Freight Network is adding value to people's lives and to companies. Every deal done at the BCS or through our connections or through our network is a company that is able to be in business longer. It's a family that hopefully has a better work-life balance. It is one item of stress off the plate of an entrepreneur, and by extension off of the entrepreneur's spouse and children. We're not just elevating brands and doing deals. We're changing companies' trajectories. We're changing family trajectories. And I've heard story after story, specifically over the last 8 months, of people who are extremely thankful about what the summit has done for them and their lives and their companies, but also in the lives of their families. We are changing this industry for the better in ways that people have been screaming about for decades. And that's what I'm most excited about. That gets me up in the morning. That pushes me to do things that I'm not comfortable doing, like going on podcasts and stuff and starting my own and all that, or doing an event when I have no business doing events. That's what gets me up in the morning. And that's what keeps us going, is the fact that we're having that level of a positive impact.
Yeah, it's incredibly exciting. I appreciate your vision, your leadership, and just pushing the ball forward, and just continuing to cast the vision and work with us. I mean, as a board member, I know Kevin, I probably speak for you as well. It's just fun being a part of the ride and helping make this thing happen. And I just can't wait to get to Indy. I literally just cannot wait to get to Indy. I can't wait for that time to be here. But until that time, everybody, just keep in mind, every week on Tuesday, you can hear Dan on the Freight Break Live. Keep your eyes open for the road to the summit. It's going to be every other week until March, and then it'll be every week leading up to the summit, where you'll have all the information about what to expect, speakers, sponsors, sessions, everything that's going on in that regard. And until that time, if you want to get involved, you can sign up for the event by going to brokercaresummit.com. If you want to sponsor, reach out to Dan or myself directly, and we'll tell you about what sponsorships are left. There are a handful that are still available. We'd love for you to be a part of that and help elevate your brand as well. So make sure to reach out to us in that regard. And until next time, Kevin, final thoughts, man. Lead us out.
I'm just ready to get to Indy as well. I'm ready to get rid of winter and into the Indy and then the spring and go play some golf with you guys, see you in person. And as Dan said, just watch everybody out there on the floor win. Put them in winning positions to where their life gets better. And we've seen it time and time again, and I can't wait to do it over again.
It's incredibly exciting. And so on behalf of Dan, on behalf of Kevin, thanks for watching this installment of The Road to the Summit, the first one of 2025. We will see you next time. What is today? Today is the 9th. So I guess we'll be back on the 23rd, if that's correct. And we'll be right back here for another edition of Road to the Summit, where we'll probably highlight some sponsors and some speakers that we've got lined up. It's going to be a great time. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys real soon. Peace out.